Imagine if you go to a country and you sit in a bar where you don't know the people and culture, you don't understand the language. It is so difficult to communicate with people. But if you know the dance and you end up going to a different country where you have the people of your same passion and you don't communicate by talking, but you communicate them through the dance.
What's up? This is Gaurav, aka the Social Dancer, and today with me, as part of my journey and travels to Delhi, I have one of my dear friends who I've known for almost a decade now. He's not just a friend; he's also an amazing human being. He's a guide in the space of where I have tried to evolve myself as a better and better dancer. Having known him for such a long time, I also see in him as a person with a great heart. I give you one of my friends who I call Jay with love, and he is known as JK Mandal in the Latin dancing space. Jay, hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. So my name is Jay, and I'm from New Delhi, but originally from Jharkhand. I grew up in a Bengali family.
And Jay, what do you do professionally?
So professionally, I work in IT. I'm currently heading the IT department for agrochemical company and their family group companies.
Right. And so, just to let you know, that's the side of him that you just heard right now. But what you see in the footage is a completely different story. He has been instrumental in spearheading the movement of Kizomba India, where he's brought in the culture of the Angola with respect to the style called Kizomba. And it was primarily led by Kaytee, and he used to be part of his movement. And it's been, how long have you been dancing, Jay?
It's been 14 years now, but to be precise, in Latin dancing, it's been 12 years now.
Yeah, and that's incredible, right? And he has traveled to many countries for his passion for dance. He's been a DJ as well, has taught many classes as well. So Jay, could you tell us how has your journey been with respect to, going into dancing? What caused you into being part of dancing so intensely, and why dance?
I mean, it has been a wonderful journey for me, and that's the reason I never quit. It's been a 14 good number of good memories of years. I just happened to got into dancing in 2008, just because I wanted to do some activity, get into some hobbies. I was a very active person in my school days into sports and all, and when I moved to Delhi for my higher studies, I didn't get an opportunity to do a lot of sports or any other activity. But then when I got my first job here, obviously the first years of jobs are always tiring, but then I moved to a new company after 3 years, and then I used to get a lot of free time in the evening because I used to bind up my work by 6 p.m. and I said, okay, I can't sit back at home, I need to do something. So I just consulted my ex-flatmate who was already into dancing because he was into acting and all. So I consulted him that I really want to do something in dancing. Maybe I want to learn some new style of dance form because I had to left fit, I can't dance at all. So he advised me that you can get into hip hop or street jazz or Latin dancing. So based on his advice, I joined my first classes with Dance Works, and I almost for 3 years I continued with street jazz classes until I met with an accident, and then I got into Latin. Then eventually I take up the Afro style of dancing.
And how many hours do you work in a day, Jay?
So yeah, it's like a standard normal working hours we have in our culture. I work for 9 hours in a day, 5 days in a week.
And you live alone?
Yeah, I live alone. I live myself.
So
So
you manage the house by yourself as well as work for 9 hours.
yes, I have to. I have no choice.
That's incredible. So how do you figure out the time? And if there's someone out there, who has a life which is quite similar like yours, where they're working 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, and they have to manage their home duties, what and at the same time they have that what I like to call in my video, they're dancing inside but they're shut up outside. What is the message that you'd like to give to them? That okay, how do you manage? What do you do to build your passion and keep it alive?
I think I mean, the people, everyone has their different passion and hobbies, but how they treat their lifestyle is totally different. Some people find it like after a tiring 9 hours of work, they go to a bar and chill with a glass of beer. For me, it's a different life. I enjoy a 1 hour of dancing instead of sitting in a bar. So that's what I do. Because of the dancing, it also helps me, like, initially I also used to think that okay, how will I manage from my work? I go to 2 hours of dance classes, then go to social dancing and all, but then I found it has been very like de-stressful for me, you know, more relaxed. I get more energized after 2 hours of dancing. Apart from work, I have a good sleep, and the next morning I'm very fresh at my work. And also in my work culture, I mean, even my HR and a lot of people in the work culture do ask me these questions, that how do you balance and how do you manage in your personal life about for keeping your passion up and with the hectic schedule. So I do a lot of my smart working in my work culture. I have a very efficient team, and I delegate most of my tasks to them. So that is how I have built up my work. That my company is today, even if I head the department, they are not dependent on me. My department is the more productive. Even in the during the lockdown, we were the more productive department in my organization. So that is how I managed to travel in various festivals. I could like leave my work and travel. But it's basically, for me, it's like, how do you balance your life, your personal life, your work life? Because I never mix both of them. It's very important that you keep both, the because you get into a work life to make your personal life better, right? So if you just like keep yourself engaged in your work life and you do not focus in your personal life, then there is no outcome. So that is what is very important to me, and that is how I manage.
Very true. And one last point here is that, the for people who don't feel that why should I choose dance, it's not necessary. I'm happy just doing my yoga, going to a bar, having a drink, just socializing with friends a bit, and just going off to bed. With the other alternatives that they have towards fitness, why should they choose dance in your independent perception?
I would say that you should definitely pick up some of the passions or activity in your life and make your life more active than rather than static, you know. But for me, I will always volunteer dancing because it has given me different prospect in my life. It also helps you to be fit. Okay, it works as a fitness routine. It makes you more expressive. It gives an opportunity to you to connect with different people from different part of the world. So I will always say it can be any form of dance, but you should definitely at least give a try and experience it, you know, that how beautiful or magical it could be. And especially if you get into a social dancing, it is just magical. Because imagine if you go to a country and you sit in a bar where you don't know the people and culture, you don't understand the language, it is so difficult to communicate with people. But if you know the dance and you end up going to a different country where you have the people of your same passion, and you don't communicate by talking, but you communicate them through the dance, you know each other through the dance. I mean, thankfully I have a friend from every single country you name in the world. Maybe they are not dancers, but the initial connection has been dancing, you know. So that is how I have been like, I like it so much because I am connected with the entire world today. Is the dancing has been the region.
Incredible, incredible. That's a fantastic takeaway message for the people out there who are in their professional lives, or who are just so busy and stressed out with their daily stress and, their whole grind of life, that take some time off to give dance a chance, because it helps you energize rather than, tire you out. That's one. Another two, it helps you bring a sense of community in your own life. It helps you can actually manage time. Jay is right here in front of me, that he can actually, as shown as an example, that he can manage his time dynamically, build a system around it to find time for dance. And when your hobby can become a way in which you can socialize and build a language, a culture, without necessarily communicating through words, any part of the world, that's the magic of dance, and that's what dancing can do. This is the Social Dancer signing off, and thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, guys.